Hi, welcome back to another video. This one's been a long time coming. I made a similar one a while ago about the creatures, but since then so many new ones have come out and frankly we were due for an update. So here it is, best creatures to adopt in Hogwarts Mystery. I will be going through each level this time, so whichever level you're at, you will get to see like which, at least in my opinion, based on the cost, based on the rewards, are your best options. I'm not gonna particularly look at the side quests. For side quests, there's another video already out there, so you can check that out. I'll try and link it as well. But anyway, starting from the very beginning. Level 1, obviously you only have one option, that would be the Niffler, so I'm not gonna get into Niffler too much. Same for the fairy in level 2. Whilst I wouldn't necessarily say that it's like the greatest creature to adopt, you probably are gonna adopt it. It's cheap, and if you're doing the side quest, you have to actually adopt it to trigger the side quest, so you can then trigger the next side quest. It's a whole big side quest thing. But if we are gonna talk about level 2, because that's where you actually start to get a lot of options and choices, the cheapest, but in my opinion also among the better options, would be the Porlock. Great deal for the price, wonderful. If we're talking about the most rewarding, also slash most expensive, that would be the Kappa, but it's great, especially for brown books. And cheaper option than Kappa, but still very rewarding, would be the Diricall. And another bonus for that one is it's also faster to max out, because different creatures will require different amounts of experience. So there's that. You don't actually have to adopt all of them to move on to the next level. I think for level 2 you only need like 2 creatures. So if your goal is to get to another creature at a higher level, just get enough to move on and, you know, get to where you want to be. It's just, in my opinion, it's better to go for the better options first, because it takes a lot to save up the books, especially early on. So you might as well get the good ones first, and then to finish the collection or to finish each area, because I at least like to do that. I like to adopt creatures, like all of the creatures in each area, so I don't have any missing spots there. But if you're just trying to like get to someplace else, get the best and then you can get the rest later. For level 3, the most expensive slash most rewarding, we will have those in every level, would be the Quintate, also with the side quest attached, and a rather fun one, so really good option. For cheaper ones, if you're looking for something cheaper than that, would be the Hippogriff. And 2 other great options as well are the Salamander and Frost Salamander, of course. For level 4, most expensive, most rewarding, of course, Chinese Fireball, also with a side quest. Second best and way cheaper would be the Imp, also with a side quest. Yeah, that's a thing. Like, a lot of the new ones that came with the Hagrid side quests are actually really good when it comes to rewards, hence just had to make a new video. And who's the best? Oh right, who's the best, who's the last? In level 4, amongst the best would be Acromantula. It's way cheaper, and it gives back almost half the red books that you spend on it, which in my mind is a pretty good argument. In the last couple of weeks, I adopted the 2 remaining dragons that were missing, one of them being the Hebridean Black Dragon that just came out. And I spent literally all the books that I had, besides the brown books, of course, and most of the pages that I'd saved up, fairly for this particular reason, to exchange the books. And so I was at 0 for pretty much everything, and 2 weeks later, I'm at like 70 something red books already. And mostly because of the dragons themselves, because they just give back so much. So it almost like feels like I haven't adopted 2 dragons, because, you know, who can tell? Who can tell at this point? So yeah, it gives back a lot of red books, so Acromantula also pretty good. I hesitated to adopt it early on because it's a huge ass spider and I'm not a huge fan of spiders, but if we skip that part, it's actually a pretty good option. Moving on to level 5, we've got two equals, Mooncalf and Auguray, both very expensive but also most rewarding in that level. If we're talking about side quests, then I would definitely lean more towards the Mooncalf, because they're both pretty, they're both cute, although with the Mooncalf there's people debating about how cute / kind of disturbing it is. But when it comes to side quests, I definitely enjoy the Mooncalf side quest much more than the Auguray, but that's a different story. When it comes to value versus price, they are both pretty much on the same level for me. If you're looking for something cheaper, way cheaper, then Knarl is also a very, very good option in level 5. Moving on to level 6, best ones would be Swedish Short Snout, a dragon of course, and Manticore as well. You can also go for Pixie. It gives more red books, but it's also more expensive. But still, great option. And Gnome. It is cheaper, gives 24 red books, less brown books, but still for such a creature it actually gives quite a lot. So Gnome is not a bad option whatsoever. Moving on to level 7, Doxy and Yeti, two of the best. Almost the same cost, rewards also kind of in the same area. And then Murtlap, which is cheaper, but also kind of similar amount of rewards. So all three of them great options in level 7. As for level 8, which is where we currently cap it in Magizoology, Griffin is still unbeaten. It's the best. It may not give like the highest amount of brown books or the highest amount of red books, but when you look at the price compared to how much you spend on it, it is still the best. No dragon will beat it ever, in my opinion. But once you have the Griffin, go for the dragons, by all means. They're great. I already mentioned it before. Love them. Maybe Hungarian Horntail can be the last one you adopt because it's still ridiculously expensive. But honestly, you probably end up with all the dragons eventually, so who cares? So yeah, that would be my kind of top. It's not top 10, there's way more than 10 creatures, but for each level, these would be the best options. You don't have to get them all, you don't have to get them in this order. You can easily just move on to levels as you do and then go back and adopt creatures from lower levels and go back and forth as you have the books, as you're doing side quests, whichever your approach. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, you want to know which is your best choice in each level or something, depending on how many books you have, should you wait, let me know in the comments. I do try to answer all the questions and help, because sometimes choosing can be hard. And sometimes trying to figure out what your approach should be can be hard too. It's a hard game, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of decision making happening all the time. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.